I'm Marg.
I'm Sue.
And we're co-facilitators of the Thursday Girls group, which is a weekly group for women with metastatic breast cancer.
The groups have two main functions: to share information and to get in touch with feelings and thoughts associated with living with advanced breast cancer. It can be very therapeutic to express and share these feelings within a safe space where people feel heard and not judged.
We've been very privileged to do this, but this is not the start of Thursday Girls group. It actually started in 1997 and was part of a worldwide trial funded by the National Health and Medical Research Council. The initial project was to see whether women who had metastatic, in other words, incurable breast cancer, lived longer being members of the group, or whether it improved their quality of life. The results were slightly mixed, but there was no doubt that the groups certainly helped quality of life, and in many instances people did live longer compared with the control group.
They're different to casual drop-in groups. It's important that members establish ongoing relationships to establish closeness and trust to develop. They're also not just social groups. Socialising is an important part of Thursday Girls, but within the group, their focus is on the challenges of living with metastatic breast cancer. Our role as facilitators is to help group members find their voice after the shock of the diagnosis and to help them process difficult thoughts and feelings within a group situation. The groups are relatively informal. Everybody updates how they are physically and emotionally, and this tends to lead to a spontaneous discussion of whatever is uppermost on members' minds at the time. Sometimes this is like an everyday conversation, and sometimes very much more. It can be very intense and sad at times, but there's also laughter and the satisfaction of sharing the highs as well as the lows.
So when the funding finished, the women really decided that they wanted to continue. They found it so helpful, so that until the present day it has continued, and we have been at pains, I suppose, to make it sustainable for the future. We have no funding from government or other sources, no organisational affiliation. Nobody really took over Thursday Girls, so we've worked to build it up to be, well, a viable entity in its own right.
Group process is complicated. Everyone is different in how they handle their illness, and there's no right way, no formula to follow. Everyone is in uncharted territory. Every group is different, and Marg and I are constantly needing to decide how to respond in any given situation. Sometimes we make a comment about the group as a whole, and sometimes we make a comment that bears upon a particular individual. Sometimes we hardly say anything, just listen carefully. This is no ordinary group because members die. At times, group members are confronted with seeing someone deteriorate in front of them from week to week. Death is ever present.
we're very concerned that there be no cost to members, because they've got so many costs with medical expenses and so on. So that's why it's really important to us that we're able to obtain funding to keep it going. Because the women aren't the only people that are affected by metastatic breast cancer, the families are intimately affected. And so in 2019 we established a men's group, partners group. This has been going very successfully, basically on Zoom, since then.